When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person that walked into it. That's what the storm is all about. When you can't control what's happening to you, control how you respond to it. That's where your power is.
You've just gone through a breakup, and it's the worst thing you've ever been through. Some of you lost your job, and you thought that job was it. And so all of a sudden you're sitting there and you're thinking, man, I thought my life was together, now it's in shambles at my feet. No, it's not. It's all right. A blade does not become strong until it's been through the fire.
Everyone sets goals in life. It's what we do. But what separates us is that some of them will turn it into a dream that can never come true. But some of us, the 5% that are willing to go beyond the norm, will turn the dream until it becomes a reality. And when it finally does come true, you know what we do? We simply begin to dream other dreams.
Imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attractions. So whatever is in your imagination, God places the life he has for you in your imagination. Because your imagination is God showing you a preview of a coming attraction he has for you.
You've got a lot more forge time left. You've got a lot more hammer blows left. And it takes time. Embrace the process. You say, Dwayne, what process? Life. Embrace the journey and the process of life.
The price of regret is much heavier than the price of discipline. You never want to wake up one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year down the road and go, man, I wish I would have listened to my gut. I wish I would have done this thing. You don't want to live in regret. If there's something you want to get done in work, your relationships, school, whatever it is, do it.
I don't give a damn where you're from or whatever. It's about building your own mentality, being your own hero, being the best person you can be so you're not putting people above you. The worst thing you can ever do in life is put people above you. Because what happens there is you believe you can't reach that. You must believe that you're on a level playing field with every person in the world. And that starts with mentality. It always keeps you in the game, it keeps you in the fight, it keeps you in the battle, it keeps you moving forward.
When you have something you want to do, if you don't develop the courage to do that which has been given you to do, and you spend a lot of time going around trying to convince other people or trying to get their approval, what will happen is that you will lose your nerve. And other people will convince you that what you're doing doesn't have any value, and you'll give up on your dream. It's an interesting thing about life, I've also found, that if you don't have the courage to act, sometimes and particularly, if you have something special to do, life will move on you.
So the answer is very simple. After you've achieved the goal, do you stop? No. You get up and you go again. Dream bigger, dream wider, dream louder, dream more affirmative. Dream so that it is so loud that others can hear it and it wakes them up as well. Just keep pursuing all your dreams, no matter how wild they may seem. You have to have a goal in life. And our dreams are that goal.
But it's gonna be some things that you gonna hit in life. I promise you. It ain't gonna matter how much money in the bank. I promise you. It ain't gonna matter what type of shoes you got on. I promise you. It ain't gonna matter the square footage of your house. It ain't gonna matter. I promise you.
If you learn to overcome fear, when you face fear, it leaves you. Face the thing you fear, and it'll leave you. That's really the secret of it. In fact, if you hold yourself back because of fear, your life actually comes to a stop, because nothing gets better than it is.
Like when you go to sleep, what do? You pretend to be asleep, and then you fall asleep. Becoming who it is that you want to be is no different. When you decide who you want to be, like today, you have to realize that that's who you were. Okay, and so for you to become who you want to be, you don't just become that. You have to start behaving as if you are that And then eventually you will actually materialize into that.
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water.
Don't have time to regret. We move on, because we are acceptable for what we are, not what we think we should be.
Realizing that even if you failed, you've had divorces, you've had breakups, you've had separation of a job, you've had injuries, you've had health issues, but now that you battled back, and even if you lost absolutely everything, you have all those experiences now behind your back. And that is the thing that will push you forward. That and your trust and faith that God will never give you more than what you can handle. And now that you have a handle on those things, you put a handle on your dreams. Grab them and bring them into focus.
Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Your imagination is the evidence of things not seen. The problem with your imagination is you tell it to the wrong people.
You got to keep dreaming. And then turn those dreams into a reality.
Your hardships, your challenges, your situation will either be the reason you don't make it, or it will be the story you tell when you do make it, and you get to make that choice.
Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, do it with everything that you have. Develop the habit of giving more than what you're paid for. Develop the habit of setting standards that others will be measured by. Someone said, do not go where the path may lead, but go where there's no path and leave a trail.
When we wake up, there's often the thought, it's time to do what beasts do. And for most of us, we have thought that that means go full tilt at all times and chase. But like a lion that's chasing down his last meal, if you just give chase to everything, you will wear out the energy reserve and find yourself frustrated. You must be a beast, but that beast must also transform to the right beast at the right moment.
When you're waking up every morning by yourself and you're fucking getting after it by yourself, and it's the hidden work. They don't see these motherfuckers, man, what they deal with every fucking day. All those mornings that you don't want to fucking get up, and I look at it as like a rock, and you find this fucking rock, and that rock is you. And every day you fight not wanting to get up, and you do anyway. You chip another piece off that fucking rock. And every day you fucking eat the right foods, and every day you go to train, and you train harder and harder and harder and harder. And you get up early, and all these things you do to start forming yourself. You're chipping another fucking piece of that rock off. Before you know it, you have this beautiful fucking piece of artwork that you built.
Stop wasting the pain. Stop going through breakups and not learning the lesson. I'm tired of making dumb decisions. You gotta stop wasting your pain, and you gotta learn from what you have been through.
If you want to last, you must sometimes be the fox and plan out your day and think about a strategy and how am I going to win. Even if I take a loss in the moment, it's a lesson. I can live and keep learning and apply it toward a victory when most people have thought that I should have given up. You see, there's more to you than just being a beast. You must be calculated. You must be planning. You must be diligent. You must set a plan. You must set a course of action.
We know you got the talent and the skill set to succeed. Oftentimes a person has talent, skill set, ability to succeed. That's great. But do you have the guts to fail? If I'm consistent, I give myself the opportunity to be exceptional. I feel as if it's a lot of exceptional people that are not consistent.
And I want you to understand that the reason, most likely, that you didn't achieve what it is that you wanted to achieve is because you don't truly believe that you have it in you to achieve these things. You see them as special. You see the people who accomplish these things as special. And what I need you to understand, and what I want you to understand moving into the next year, is that all of these people that you observe living a better life than you, in your opinion, all of these people you admire, all of these people that you look up to, all of them, every single one of them, is no different on the inside than you are.
Because worn down is beat. The things that don't go my way, they just turn into targets that I'm going to attack harder.
This is yours. You're the captain, you're the master, you're the foreman, you're the general, you're the head. Don't give control of this to nobody.
So when I don't see the point and I feel like my life is being dismantled, could it be that God's preparation comes packaged as pain? And maybe if you could see it that way, it wouldn't take the pain away, but it would give the pain a purpose. If you could see what you've been calling a failure really wasn't a failure. It was a foundation.
You cannot be focused on what was when you want to chase down what can be. And when you chase down what can be, you enjoy the journey because this is the reward, not the destination. Because the destination, if it were just given to you, when you've been face down, when you felt like you should have given up or could have given up, and you get back up and you chase down everything that was being held back from you, and you believe that you can overcome, and you have opponents that try to stop you, but then you get up and you go after that opponent, and once you conquer them, you've overcome those demons, those fears, those frustrations that once held you back.
You are the perfect version of you already. You are the version of you that other people will love. All you have to do is give yourself permission to go be it. And that's going to require you to get uncomfortable. That's going to require you to put yourself out there. People aren't going to get it until they can get it. And you have it in you.
I said my challenge is this. Sometimes as people, an individual can be so arrogant and they can live their lives and feel as if, oh, when a challenge arises, when opposition arises, when change arises, when uncertainty arises, I'll just be ready for it and I'll rise to the occasion. And I think we all know in life you don't rise to the occasion, you revert back to your training. Meaning the individual that you were prior to the opposition, prior to the challenge, prior to the uncertainty, that is the individual that's going to show up in the midst of it every single time. The quote says it. You judge the true character and caliber of a person not by where they stand in times of comfort and convenience. You judge the true character and caliber of a person by where they stand in times of challenge and controversy.
It means more because of what it costs you. And when it costs you something, it has a price that cannot be paid by immediately being given. It's every day that you get up in the beast mode. But the mode of beast must be altered based on the situation. Courage is the strength to stand up when it's easier to just fall down and lose hold. Courage is the conviction to explore a new horizon when it was easier to just believe what you've been told about life. Courage is the desire to maintain your integrity when everyone else will simply look the other way. Courage is the feeling that you can be happy and feel alive and keep moving forward when it's easier to feel sorry for ourselves and just stay in bed.
Winners, champions, do not value motivation at all. I never think, do I feel like doing this? Is how do I get done regardless of how I feel? Because that's where the champions live. If you only fucking execute when you feel like it, or the stars are aligned, you can only execute when you feel like executing, you will fucking lose 100 times out of 100.
I mean, being in the military does not make you a disciplined person. Being from a disciplined family does not make you a disciplined person. Being in a disciplined group does not make you a disciplined person. What makes you a disciplined person is choosing to be disciplined.
Stop doing the things that you know are wrong that you could stop doing.
I want you to think about those goals. I want you to taste them. I want you to internalize it. I'm telling you to dream your dream because I want you to feel it. I want you to taste it. I want you to know how close. I want you, just like when the weather is changing, you can feel it. I want you to be able to feel when you're getting closer to it and closer to it. But more importantly, I want you to know when you dream your dream that there are other people who are dreaming the exact same dream. And now I ask you this question: what do you do when 1,000 other people want exactly what you want? What if you're not the only one that wants what you want? What if there are thousands of other people who want what you want? You have to outwork them. You got to outgrind them. You got to get up earlier. You got to stay up later. You got to execute, and you got to go from 70 to 120.
Get up, go, fight on.
Courage is the will to shape our world into what it can be when it's easier to simply say that someone else can do it. You see, courage is it's recognition that none of us are perfect. And when it's easier to simply live a life criticizing others for what they haven't done or what they could have done or what they should have done. But courage is the power to step forward and to lead.
You're suffering from self-doubt while others are intimidated by your full potential. If your past self could see where you're at today, think of how impressed they would be. One of the greatest ways you can overcome self-doubt is to realize how far you've come. Maybe you're not exactly where you want to be, but you're a lot better than where you were. And the key is to wake up every single day, put one foot in front of the other, keep moving and keep growing.
You must understand that motivation is for average people. Motivation is for people that lose more than they win. Discipline is where everybody who's ever achieved anything great that you admire, that is what they value. That's what they strive for. That's the skill that they make investments in. And that's why their lives look so great that you want something like that for yourself.
You need to know it. You need to take that God that's sitting there with you and those precious souls that have passed, that have always believed in you, and you carry them with you everywhere. They're with you anyway. Acknowledge them. If you don't believe that, honor them. Honor God. Honor these people who believe in you with your magnificent life. Honor them. Don't give in to lack of belief, lack of confidence. Don't ever do that again. You were made to do something great. You're special. You were made in the image of God. Something awesome is supposed to happen for you. And those of you that have made something awesome happen, something even more awesome is supposed to happen for you.
Don't be afraid to reinvent yourself, and don't be afraid to be different, man. You ain't got to fit in the crowd. Why are you following everybody when you were clearly meant to lead? You can turn your life around because it ain't ever too late.
Do not take the easy way out.